CBS News is now projecting former Vice President Joe Biden will be the 46th president of these United States. And his running mate, California Senator Kamala Harris, the first female, the first black, and the first Asian American vice president in our nation's history. The CBS News decision desk determined Joe Biden has the electoral votes he needs, and mathematically, President Trump is now unable to win the race. After days of counting, here's a look at the vote in Pennsylvania. That state and its 20 electoral votes put Biden over the 270 needed to secure the presidency. President-elect Biden has been urging calm over the past few days as the vote totals were being tabulated. Given the large number of mail-in ballots from Biden's supporters, the former vice president initially trailed President Trump on Election Day. But now that millions of mail-in votes have been counted, Biden is over the top in both electoral votes and popular votes. Biden will become the fourth vice president to be elected president. He's also the 11th man to defeat an incumbent president. And his running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, makes history now as she is set to become the country's first female vice president, also the first of black and Asian American heritage. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are expected to address the nation later this evening. Of course, we will bring that to you as well. Biden released a statement saying, quote, "I am honored and humbled by the trust the American people have placed in me and in Vice President-elect Harris. In the face of unprecedented obstacles, a record number of Americans voted, proving that once again, that democracy beats deep in the heart of America. With the campaign over, it's time to put the anger and the harsh rhetoric behind us and come together as a nation. It's time for America to unite and to heal. We are the United States of America, and there's nothing we can't do if we do it together." The Trump campaign is responding in a statement as well. Quote, "Beginning Monday, our campaign will start prosecuting our case in court to ensure election laws are fully upheld and the rightful winner is seated. The American people are entitled to an honest election. That means counting all legal ballots and not counting any illegal ballots." For more on this now, I want to bring in CBSN political reporter Caitlin Huey-Burns. Caitlin, it has been a long time getting here, but we now have results. What is it like where you are right now?
Hi, I'm coming to you live again outside the Pennsylvania Convention Center, where the votes of Philadelphia County have been counted, and that's why we've been reporting out here all week. And people in Philadelphia know that that's where all the votes have been, and so people driving by are honking their horns. People are shouting outside their windows, cheering for Joe Biden because they know that Pennsylvania put him over the edge with those votes coming out of Philadelphia here today. It's a poetic finish for Joe Biden that Pennsylvania put him over the edge to these 270 electoral votes. This is the state where he was born, in Scranton. This is the city where he launched his presidential campaign. His headquarters is here in Philadelphia. It's a state that he said that he would win, and according to our projections, he has, and thus is the projected winner of this presidential race.
Now, Caitlin, there in Pennsylvania, obviously it is the state that put Biden over the 270 electoral votes needed. It was also President Trump's last pathway to success. There were a lot. I hear all the horns honking behind you, but there were also a lot of Trump supporters that were there as well. Have you been hearing from any of them? Have those crowds dispersed?
Absolutely. This was a key state for President Trump, and one that helped him to victory in 2016. Remember, the margin there was just 44,000 votes. So the president saw this state as critical to his path to re-election, and that's why you've seen his campaign waging all sorts of legal challenges to the vote here. We saw yesterday and the day before lots of supporters of the president gathered across down the street at the on the other side of this building, saying that without evidence that this was a fraudulent election, they were saying without evidence that this had been stolen from them. And on the other side, as we had been reporting, you had supporters of Biden and supporters saying count every last vote. Remember, here in Philadelphia County, this is the most populous county in the state, and votes have been continued to be tallied since Election Day because of all of the absentee voting. It has just taken a while to count those votes. This morning, Philadelphia County released a couple thousand more votes, and as those votes had been tallied, that is what allowed news outlets to make the projections of of how Biden would do. So Pennsylvania, a critical state throughout this whole process, and today is the state that put Biden over the edge.